with us also. Having
Hello.
a great time today. Very grateful that you are with us. And, of course, here's the Joe shameless plug for my program, conveniently located here on WSGW AM and FM on Saturday morning at 7 a.m. and on Sunday afternoon at 5 p.m. It's Generating Gratitude, where we do stories about addiction. We do stories about alcoholism and recovery, all sorts of stuff. This week we got a great show. Why are our teens so screwed up? The mental health of our teenagers. And it's kind of a very important show. And we have a psychologist on the show, Corey Thompson. She's the clinical director at Pleasant Psychology in Mount Pleasant. So that happens on Saturday morning at 7 and Sunday at 5 p.m.
And you can find it anytime online, WSGW.com. Click on podcasts, and Joe's show is included in that.
Right, because nobody listens to the radio now when they're supposed to.
Especially on the weekend. People are busy.
Exactly. With me now, a guest here. I've wanted to talk to this guy for a while because what he does is amazing. His organization and his work is incredible. It's Brad Blanchard. He's part of the Great Lakes Bay Veterans Coalition. And I follow the Great Lakes Bay Veterans Coalition on Facebook. It's an amazing organization, and they do amazing things. And they've got an event coming up. Brad, welcome to the Art Lewis Show.
Thank you, and good morning.
Brad, explain a little bit before we talk about your big event coming up on November 8th. Explain a little bit about the Great Lakes Bay Veterans Coalition. What is the organization? What do you do? And how do you help veterans?
So the coalition is a group of individuals and organizations that just work together to help our veteran service members and their families in the Great Lakes Bay region. Our primary focus is Midland Bay and Saginaw County, but we've done work as far north as the Bridge and as far south as Jackson. We help out with anything from home repairs, home improvements, financial assistance, automotive assistance. We've done a lot of work with homeless this last year and with food insecurities. In addition to that, we do a lot of programs out in the community, a lot of stuff around Americanism, patriotism. We teach flag etiquette in local schools. We do a lot of work with the National Guard units in the area and also with the VA hospital.
One of the important things, too, Brad, about the Great Lakes Bay Veterans Coalition, and I talk about this on my show, is the power of community. And what your organization is doing is you're getting these veterans involved, because one of the worst things for anybody's mental health is isolation. Being alone. And what your organization does, Brad, and again, I can't praise your organization enough. You get the vets involved with other vets. You get the vets involved with the community, and explain how important that is to let the vets know that they're not alone.
Oh, it's extremely important. It's probably the most important part. We do get a lot of veterans who are isolated, who have trouble reintegrating back with society after they've gotten out of the military, especially those that have served in combat zones. So just getting around like-minded people, getting them to open up, and then eventually they'll start getting a little bit more outgoing and get more involved in things, whether it's with us or with other organizations or just in their life in general. We've had a couple who, first few times that they've come out to some of our projects or programs, they're really standoffish, just kind of sit back and watch. And within a few months, you just see a dramatic change in them. They're getting more involved. They're taking kind of a leadership role on a couple of different things, and the change is just amazing.
One of the things that I talk about, I've spent 39 years being a recovering alcoholic and going to support group meetings, and the value of being in a room of people, and I call them head nodders. So when I tell my alcoholic story, they all nod their heads because they've been there. I don't have to explain anything to them. That's part of that's the beauty of the Great Lakes Bay Veterans Coalition is you're, as a veteran, you're surrounded by a group of head nodders where a veteran can tell their experience, and the people in the room they understand exactly what they're going through.
Oh, that's true. We sometimes have trouble with that because our group is about 60-40, 60% veterans, 40% non-veterans. And when we get a new person that never served and they're being around us for a little while, they kind of question the sanity of some of our folks. But they quickly get accepted in, and we welcome everybody. We have a great time, any type of project that we're doing. But there are some initial looks from people that haven't served or haven't been in those situations before. But like I said, we make them feel welcome, and we do great things together.
Yeah, some of the things I've noticed on your Facebook page too, you're the folks that do the big flag at events. Explain a little bit about the big flag.
Well, Americanism, patriotism is a huge part of our organization, and we've started off teaching flag etiquette about 10 or 12 years ago, and that moved into purchasing flags that we have our own color guard now. So for different events, like coming up here in November at Wake Up Midland, my color guard will be there presenting the colors during the Pledge of Allegiance. And that led to this, and that led to that, and led to that. And finally, we purchased a very large flag. It's called a Garrison flag. It's 20 by 38 foot, and we use it with a crane. We hang it above certain events off of a Three Rivers crane here. We have a partnership with them here in Midland. And then on occasion, we would take that out to events on like a football field or the Dow Diamond for the national anthem for their games. And as we were doing that, we thought, well, maybe we can find a little bit bigger flag. So we ended up purchasing, with some good donations from our community, we purchased a 30 by 60 foot flag, which we've taken to Northwood football games, SVSU football games, Loons. We've had it at the tennis center, multiple high schools for their high school military appreciation games. It's quite a large flag, and a lot of people really love seeing it out there during the national anthem.
And if you've been to an event where the large flag is pretty powerful, it's one of those things you have to see. You can you can describe it, but it's really, how many people have to hold that big flag?
To do it safely, we require 45 people. Typically, we'll have about 50 to 55. And you said it exactly right there. It's really powerful. We'll have people that have never done anything like that before come out and help us, and they leave the field just in awe, and they can't wait for the next event to come and help out again with it. So, but it is a very special thing when you're part of the group carrying it out onto the field and unfurling it for the national anthem and standing there.
Brad Blanchard is with us, Great Lakes Bay Veterans Coalition. Brad, we're going to have to break for a little bit, but when we come back, I'd like to talk about your big event coming up, the Great Lakes Bay Military and Veterans Ball, all coming up in Midland. So we'll hold Brad over for another break, and you're listening to The Art Lewis Show here on WSGW.
Hi, I'm Rachel, Director of
Welcome back to the Art Lewis Show, and of course, if you're just tuning in, I'm not Art. I'm Joe, and sitting in for Art, gratefully getting the chance to do this today. Brad Blanchard is with us. We'll continue our conversation with him. Brad, of course, Great Lakes Bay Veterans Coalition, and the work that you folks do, Brad, is amazing. But you've got a big event coming up. It's the 2025 Great Lakes Bay Military and Veterans Ball, and that's coming up November 8th at 5 p.m. in Midland. Could you give us some details? Yeah,
so most of your military bases have an annual military ball. Some larger areas will have a veterans ball, and our area has never had one that's encompassed everything. So last year was our first year doing it. It was very successful. So we're doing it again this year. And it's just a gathering of folks to celebrate their service. And when I say their service, it's not just for the veterans or active duty service members. Anybody's allowed to attend. If you support veterans, you want to come out for a great meal and a fun evening, you're welcome to join us also. This year, we're actually we're recognizing a Veteran of the Year from both Midland Bay and Saginaw County. And then we're also recognizing a Service Member of the Year. This is the first time we're doing this in the region, and we've got some good candidates this year that we're going to recognize, and hopefully it'll be a good time for everybody.
Yeah, it should be a good evening to get everybody, again, that power of community where people can get together and share their experience and be in the same room. As you can't underestimate the value of that. No,
you can't. And there's a camaraderie amongst the services, but there's also a little rivalry now and then. So there's a lot of ribbing and joshing going on during these events too between the different services. Another tradition that we've brought forward with it is at most of your military balls, you'll have the oldest and the youngest service member cut the cake for dessert. We incorporated that into our ball also. We have a guest speaker. We're still trying to nail down our guest speaker, but we'll have a guest speaker. And then we'll have a couple hours of dancing. We've got a great DJ there that will set up and play music for a few hours. And it's just an overall enjoyable night to get out and have some fun.
Now, when you did this last year, Brad, what was the oldest veteran when you did this last year?
I think we had one that was mid-70s last year that showed up.
Okay.
So we're hoping he shows up again this year. If not, we'll just go with what we got.
He's the defending champion, right?
Yep, he's the defending champion, yep.
And, of course, this takes place at D'Alessandro's Tuscany Hall in Midland. It's Saturday, November 8th, starting at 5 o'clock. If somebody's interested in attending, Brad, how would they pick up tickets?
Everything is being run through our Facebook page, so they can go to our Facebook page and register. Or if they just go to our Facebook page and message me through the Facebook page, that works also. We'll get you registered, and then I'll send you information on how to pay. We offer several different ways to pay for your tickets, and after that, it's just show up and have a great time.
Explain to Brad that you don't have to be a veteran to attend this event.
All of our events are the same. We are trying to get as many veterans involved in anything that we do. But at the same time, we believe in that community spirit. There's a lot of people out there to support the veterans and support the military and want to be part of it. So we really encourage civilians to come out and join us, not only here, but just in any event, like I said. Last year, we probably had a half a dozen folks that never served but came out and had a blast and got to hear some good stories and meet some new friends. And hopefully we'll see them all again this year.
We've got a few minutes, Brad, before we have to wrap this up. I'd like to ask you a question, not involving the ball or anything like that, but as a part of the Great Lakes Bay Veterans Coalition, what do you if you could tell anybody, something about the Great Lakes Bay Veterans Coalition, what would you tell them?
I would tell them that we make a huge impact in our veterans community. Unfortunately, you very rarely hear about it. To date for this year, we've helped over 150 veterans and their families, but we typically don't promote that just because of the privacy issues with the families and stuff. But we have a significant impact on our veterans community in the region. I'd love to say that we did it all ourselves, but we have some exceptional partnerships in the area. And I know of at least a dozen veterans this year that we've helped other organizations get them out of a homeless status and into a home. And it doesn't stop there. We've taken it and made sure that they've had food for the next month or so, made sure that they've had clothing and furniture as they move out of homelessness into their facility or their apartment or whatever. So that's probably one of our proudest things and one of the best things about it. some of my volunteers, when they get done with a project, when they get done helping a veteran, they're just beaming from ear to ear and happy, and they just feel so satisfied that they made a difference in somebody's life like that.
Well, I've always believed that you have to receive anything in life, to receive anything good, you first have to give, and you have to give without reservation. It's not okay, if I give this much, I'm going to get this much back. And when you work with the veterans and you work with the Great Lakes Bay Veterans Coalition, many of your volunteers receive more than they'll ever give.
Oh, yes. None of us get paid for it. It's all out of we do it out of the kindness of our heart. We want to make sure these people are taken care of. We want to help our fellow veterans and our fellow people in the community. And just like you said, just what they get out of it, you can't even measure it sometimes. And just the pride they take out of it. And some of our folks have made lifelong friends with the folks that we're helping.
It's that power of community. It's that building of relationships, because your organization, and I look at it at Facebook, you do things like helping people move,
Yep.
which is important. You do little things, you do the big things, but the important thing is that you do things. And Brad, if somebody wants to get involved with the Great Lakes Bay Veterans Coalition, if they want to attend your event coming up on Saturday, November 8th at 5 p.m. at the D'Alessandro's Tuscany Hall in Midland, or they just want to learn more about your organization, how would you suggest that they go about it?
Just reach us through the Facebook page. You'll see me posting on there all the time. You can send a message directly to me. Anything that we do is open to anybody, veteran or non-veteran. We highly encourage bringing families out, bringing kids out. We love seeing kids get involved and learning more about giving back to their communities. Every project, with the exception of one of our golf outings, which is more adult-oriented, is kid-friendly, and we encourage getting them out there and teaching them about giving back. But, yeah, just go through our Facebook page. That's the easiest way to locate us, and reach out directly to me, and I'll get back to you as quick as I can.
And that power of community, again, is so important to let vets know that they're not alone, because that isolation sucks. That
Yep.
mental isolation, because sometimes, when people have experienced trauma, they mentally isolate. And again, like the Great Lakes Bay Veterans Coalition, to help those folks know that they're not alone, and help those folks reintroduce themselves into the community and be, service and give. And that's so very important, and it's very critical. And it really doesn't, it's not even a monetary thing. It's just, the gift of time, giving of your time, because if you give a little bit, you'll receive so much.
Exactly.
And, of course, Brad Blanchard, thank you very much for being with us today. Again, the Great Lakes Bay Veterans Coalition, their 2025 Great Lakes Bay Military and Veterans Ball. It's coming up on Saturday, November 8th at 5 p.m. And, again, if you want to sponsor it, if you want to show up, Brad, how do they get a hold of you?
Easily through Facebook. Just go to the Great Lakes Bay Veterans Coalition on Facebook, or they can search me out personally on Facebook under Brad Blanchard. Either way works for me, and I'm looking forward to talking to anybody who wants to get involved with us.
All right. Thank you very much, Brad. Amazing organization. If you haven't been involved with these folks, or if you haven't seen the giant flag at an event, you need to see it, because it's pretty damn incredible. And again, the Art Lewis Show presented by Westside Decorating Center today. You can visit them at 5789 State Street in Saginaw, or online you can visit westsidedecoratingcenter.com. We'll be right back with more of the Art Lewis Show. Joe sitting in for Art on WSGW.
Hey, it's Charlie Rood here.
There it is. Where I was waiting for our zesty little rejoin music. Caught me in a mid-sip of coffee. There we go. Welcome back. Joe sitting in for Art Lewis today on the Art Lewis Show. Again, thank you very much to the folks here at Connoisseur Media for letting me sit in today. Art Lewis, of course, show presented by Westside Decorating Center. Go there and buy a lot of stuff. We would appreciate it. All right, Jonathan, going to give you a choice now.
All right. What do we got?
Okay. You can choose which direction the show is going to go. We can do another blazing edition of You're Not Very Good at Your Job.
I like those.
Okay? Or we can go, how do you know that your spouse is a Nazi?
You know, Joe,
I know it's a tough choice.
A tough choice. I know the story behind how to know if your spouse is a Nazi, and it kind of is a you're not very good at your job.
You're not very good
let's
at
go with that one.
Okay. Megan Booth says she didn't know she was married to a neo-Nazi influencer. Apparently,
that's
she's
a pretty big oops.
She's a politician of some type. Montcalm Township, somewhere in Michigan. I don't know, nor do I care. But the story is did she realize her husband Chris has become a Nazi?
Has become.
Right.
Okay. So he wasn't always like this.
Yes.
Okay.
Apparently,
which that seems like it would be easier to uncover if it was a change.
She learned the extent of her husband's Nazi-ness when a reporter contacted her over the summer and asked her if she knew that her husband was posting videos with Nazi themes. Now, I know that, when you get into a relationship with somebody, when you're looking to get married, there are certain things that you don't disclose right away in the relationship. First date, second date. And I've always been of the theory that you don't really know a person until you live with them. And so that's why I think living together is kind of important, because you don't really know somebody. Oh my God, they do that? Oh. Because anybody can put up a good front.
Yeah.
But when you live with somebody, that's like a relationship marathon. And I know that there are certain things that I hid, certain things that my spouse hid. More will be revealed. Like when you live, I didn't know that you do that. Oh, I didn't know that you do that. Oh. And you learn that when you live with somebody. Then when you get married to somebody. Because marriage is really where the rubber hits the road. When it actually costs you money to get out of it, then you know that you're in it. Just living together doesn't cost you anything to get out of it. So at what point in the relationship do you bring up that you happen to be a Nazi? Or clues that you might pick up that the person that you're dating and the person that you're marrying
may be
a Nazi.
Yeah.
Was it the mustache on him or her? Was it, I don't know, the anti-Semitic videos that they're posting?
Obviously, this guy wasn't running those videos by his wife before
right.
putting them up. She wasn't editing them.
Hey, honey, I saw your post on Facebook.
Hey, honey, I know you hold public office. Would it be okay if I posted this? No, nothing like that.
Hey, can I talk to you, dear, a little bit about your post? Why I hate Jews? So that might be a sign that your spouse is becoming a Nazi.
You know, those warning signs, they're sneaky.
Yes.
You never know what could be or couldn't be a warning sign.
You wonder about that. So now I got everybody reevaluating their relationships right now, looking over at their spouse.
I thought he just was like waving at me in a weird way. I didn't know that.
Yeah, wow, I thought that Heil was just our little like thing between us. But no, apparently, no, that means you're a Nazi. So again, this woman is taking she's an elected treasurer of Maple Valley Township in Montcalm County. Yeah, No, I'm not going to say that there wasn't, but had he declared himself a national socialist to me? No, it's not something we discuss at the dinner table.
We leave politics out of dinner. we don't talk about politics at the dinner table. That's why I didn't know.
Yeah, I didn't know, huh? How was your day? Great. Hell yes. Okay, let's move on to you're not very good at your job.
Let's take a break first.
Are we going to do that?
Yeah.
We're going to take a break? All right. You're listening to the Art Lewis Show, and again, brought to you by Westside Decorating on State Street in Saginaw. We'll be back with more of this. You're not very good at your job. Coming up, like we are, on WSGW.
Gotta go.
Welcome back to the Art Lewis Show. Joe sitting in for Art. Today, wrapping up this dumpster fire. Of course, the Art Lewis Show presented by Westside Decorating Center. Visit them at 5789 State Street in Saginaw, or conveniently located, as always, 24/7 online at westsidedecoratingcenter.com. Wrapping up the show today, we talked about this earlier, and I'm just changing it. We're not going to do you're not very good at your job. We'll scrap that till next time, because we've got Halloween coming up on Friday. And one of the things I want to talk about Halloween is just a sign that we've become lazy as a society. And I'm talking about trunk or treat. A lot of places don't trick or treat anymore. They do this trunk or treat thing, where the kids don't have to go out anymore to trick or treat. They just go to a parking lot. And I'm against trunk or treat, and here's why. Because when I was a kid, Halloween was one of the greatest nights ever. It was you learned planning, you learned the preciseness of a military operation. To do Halloween right and to get maximum candy yield, you had to prepare. You had to lay out a map of the neighborhood.
It was a team effort, too.
It was a team. It was like a military operation where we know who gives out the good candy.
High-value targets.
High-value targets. We know the areas to avoid. You know, the liberals that give out pennies or toothbrushes, or even worse, the homemade candy. Stay away from those. Yeah. Don't waste your time. You knew where to the old lady neighbor that was losing her mind, that you could go back 3 or 4 or 5 times and she wouldn't remember that you were there. And she gave a